Hey everybody, good morning from the Survivor Super Fun Time Show. This is definitely a different episode. This isn't like going to break down some past seasons of the game or anything like that, or even talk about the future of the game, which there's a ton of content up here of what we're gonna do for all that stuff. Plus we have some castaways lined up to recap some of the episodes from Survivor 45. It's gonna be a great time in the future of the Super Fun Time Show. This one's different though. This is, I'm kind of a memorabilia collector to some degree. Like I have a stupid buff on my head right now. Not stupid, it's awesome. Because I actually collect buffs and sometimes my hair gets messy. So, I have one or two that I'll just wear on occasion around the house. And this is what we got going on today for the show. I actually have somebody that was selling some Survivor Castaway autographs. I'm not necessarily a huge autograph collector, but I used to do it a lot as a kid and maybe I'm picking it up again. I don't know. And there's a bunch of stuff here that I want to share with you that I think is pretty cool because there's a lot of people in this stack of autographs that I've just purchased, about 25, 26, something like that. They were like a couple bucks each, and I thought it was definitely worthwhile just to add to like the Super Fun Time Show collection. And who knows, maybe the Castaways I interview in the future and see it other stuff I'll be adding to the collection. But for now, I thought it'd be really fun to share some of these with you here. Maybe there's some names you haven't thought about in a long time. Maybe some that you think are really cool that it's really great to see. So I'm just gonna basically go through this giant stack of autographs here. It's super cool. And I wanna share with all of you because if you're subscribed to the channel, hopefully you have interest in some of this stuff. Because we're all, Survivor nerds, we're fans of the game, all that fun stuff. So anyway, getting into it, because I don't wanna make this too complicated of a video, I just instead wanna talk about and give a little commentary on some of these. This is from Dirty 30. This is Will from Survivor Worlds Apart. Apologies if there's any kind of glaring. Can't do too much about that. But Will made the final three, got no votes. But, I don't know. It's a rare signature at the very least. We can definitely say that. And speaking of the Dirty 30, we have Carolyn, Mama C. Got to the final three. Pretty excited to have her. Also from the Dirty 30. Golden Boy, Joe Anglem, although this picture is from Survivor Cambodia. He's top 3 challenge threat of all time. The other 2 top 3 challenge threats are also in this stack, so it'll be pretty cool to show you here. The next one, Challenge Beast, Ozzy from Survivor Cook Islands, and obviously also Survivor Game Changers, South Pacific, Micronesia. He's the Ozman, basically, and he's got a really cool signature. Absolutely love. This is one I never thought I would see a signature of, because I wasn't in the reality convention circuit or anything like that. James Cook, or not James Cook. It's not James Cook, I'm sorry. James Clement. James Cook is a running back for the Buffalo Bills. James Clement from Survivor China, Survivor Micronesia, Survivor Heroes versus Villains. Really awesome person to have because he was actually one of my favorite people growing up and watching Survivor. Just because, you're growing up and you're a young man and you're like, yeah, masculinity, let's go throw some stuff together. And I always liked him a lot. Still, it's embarrassing. He got voted out with 2 hidden immunity idols, but whatever. He was entertaining for a time. All right, back to the Dirty 30. This is Rodney. Rodney Lavoie Jr., I think his name is. Yeah, he's one of the most, on TV, one of the most annoying characters that have ever existed on Survivor. But I think he's also one of the best characters because of that, and that's why I love season 30 so much. He even wrote the inscription, "You better relax, bro," because that's some of the stuff he would say. Now, this is my favorite couple ever, probably in Survivor history, because they had the rare distinction of being able to play in the game together. Jacqueline and John from Survivor Nicaragua, or not Nicaragua, I'm sorry, San Juan del Sur. Love these two. One of them both back for a returning season. John apparently was asked for second chance, but CBS called him and he didn't actually check his messages. So by the time he did check his messages, weeks later, time had already gone by. So fun random fact. Also, she's like a 10, which is ridiculous as far as my crush scale goes. Speaking of super blonde from 3030, Sierra Dawn Thomas, who's now married to Joe Anglem, actually. Fun random fact. Speaking of a game changer, Tasha from Survivor Cagayan, and also, of course, Survivor Second Chance Cambodia. She's an all-time badass. Very awesome. Challenge threat-wise, amazing. If we're creating a foundation for Survivor autographs, she's it, right? Now, speaking of another challenge, another foundational player, we got here Philip Shepard from Survivor Redemption Island / Fans versus Favorites. How absolutely ridiculous. Philip, I think in real life is a really awesome guy, but on TV, he was just, he was a character. He was pretty insane. And speaking of another character, pretty insane, we got Kat from Survivor One World. And Survivor One World, Kat, you remember her, obviously, they had that whole thing. Hayden's not going to love me if I get voted out before the merge. I know she was very serious in that moment, and that's what makes it very funny. So I have to admit, this is not an autograph I asked for in the pile, and I have to really get up on my Survivor trivia, I suppose. But I'm not really sure who this person is. Kelly from Survivor Gabon. I don't remember her very well, so I'm going to have to get up on that. It's Kelly Zarnecki. So I'm ashamed to say I don't really remember her too well, but it's all right. I'll go back and watch, and I'm sure I'll treasure it quite a bit. Someone I do love, for sure. Tai Trang from Survivor Korong and Survivor Game Changers. Always loved this guy. He's one of the greatest. I think he was the original SIA money recipient. And I think it all started because of Tai, actually, because he made a chicken that can't pet, which is not something that usually happens. Next up is one of my favorite players of all time, going all the way back to Survivor Africa. And this is Lex Vandenberg. I think he's cool as heck. Sorry there's so much glare on these. They're like double protected, but love Lex, always did. Wished he had a lot more better happen for him in Survivor All-Stars. He definitely helped Boston Rob out as a friend, and Rob screwed him. Now this part of the stack here, this is the last like 10 or so. And this is exciting because these are all winners and one little surprise at the end. First one is from the Dirty 30. We got Mike Holloway. This is a guy who I would have loved to have seen in Survivor Winners at War, but sadly, now that the game is moved on to the new era, I don't think we'll see him again. Maybe the best of all time, the queen herself, Sandra Diaz Twine. Sandra, thankfully, is like really awesome with fans. It seems like I've seen her do random podcasts, random mini games, sign autographs at conventions, go to viewing parties. So I'm not surprised that some of these exist out there. The winner of one of the favorite seasons of all time for many people out there, Denise Stapley of Survivor Philippines. On the famous Mat Singh tribe, and random fact for anyone who doesn't know, Denise in Survivor Philippines went to every single tribal council that season. Every one. If there was a tribal council, she was there. And she still won the game. Next one, this is an all-timer, obviously. Everyone would want this if you're a Survivor fan starting a collection. Boston Rob, who played in Survivor Marquesas, although everyone kind of wants you to forget that. He was also in Survivor All-Stars. He was in Survivor Heroes vs. Villains, Redemption Island, which he won, Winners at War, and I guess Island of the Idols if you want to count it. Now we're getting into the part of the stack that's like, they're winners, but they're some of my favorite winners. This is one I didn't think I would ever see, honestly. This is Judd from Survivor Nicaragua, better known as Fabio. Fun random fact, I started applying for Survivor a long time ago, and it was his season, Survivor Nicaragua, that I was getting casting emails about to get on it. It never happened. I didn't really get past the first or second round, whatever it was. But he and I were probably fighting for the same archetype, so I'm glad he won. Now, one of my favorite winners of all time, Tom Westman from Survivor Palau and Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. He is a top tier winner. He has an argument to be the best winner of all time. And he's just overall a stand-up guy. Very happy to have his signature because honestly, I've loved him ever since I was a kid as far as a Survivor player. All right, we're down to the GOATs, final three. This is one I never thought I'd see. And supposedly he shot a dog with a bow and arrow. So personally, I guess you know, it's mixed feelings about the guy as far as the Survivor fan base goes. But Brian Heidick of Survivor Thailand. It also doesn't go in his favor. Nobody really likes Survivor Thailand. But, you know, Mr. Freeze is in the house. And objectively, he's arguably one of the best winners to ever play. But he did almost lose to Clay Jordan, and no one really seemed to like Clay. So I don't know how I feel about Brian's win anymore these days. I used to think he was the GOAT for sure, but I don't know. Anyway, last two. We're down to the last two, okay? The one that started it all. Actually, I think a couple days ago, it was the 25th anniversary of the win of this man. Richard Hatch kicked off Survivor by winning the game as a gay, overweight man, really kicking it off instantly, saying that, you know what, this is the game of a new generation. And obviously he created the strategy of an alliance and really just kind of started all of it that made it so captivating. So awesome to have that go. But the final and arguably most important signature that was in this bundle that I'm super happy to have, it hasn't really sat well with me at all. I do love Survivor, and because I love Survivor, I love great characters. That's why the Super Fun Time Show exists, because I like the fun parts of Survivor in addition to the strategy. and I try not to complain about the negative too much. And if there's a castaway that encapsulated so much of that, it's this man right here. Keith Nail of Survivor San Juan del Sur and Survivor Cambodia Second Chance. He recently passed away this year, for anyone who doesn't know. One of the most genuinely awesome, nice dudes that we've seen on our screens. And based on castaway reports that played with him, that's just who he really was. So it's really a bummer to see that he had passed away this year, I believe of lung cancer. And my brother passed away from lung cancer, so that hit me too. But I was very happy to have him in the collection because signatures can mean a lot to me in that like a part of them is still with you, I guess, right? And it's cool to know that they put their mark here. And the fact that Keith, I have a signed photo of Keith, I think it's pretty awesome. That's my collection. I wanted to share it with you. It's this cool little envelope of all these signatures. And you know what? I have other content coming out, but this is one that I thought would be fun to share with everyone here. But if you want to see more content in the future, like podcasts, like episode reviews with some of the former castaways, or if you want to see breakdowns of, you know, fan casting, or just even doing like maybe DVD commentary of episodes, but obviously we can't use the whole episode because YouTube will definitely strike this down. Instead, like audio, you can play with the episode. Let me know. That's one of the ideas we have going on right now that I think will be really fun. I could probably get 1 or 2 castaways to do that with me particularly for 43, but from a few other seasons, which would be really fun, right? And of course, I'll be going to the Hearts of Reality event in December. It'd be super exciting. So if you're going there, let me know. And who knows, maybe we'll link up, hang out, maybe we'll shoot some video and I'll get your opinions on some stuff. Could be great. Otherwise, hope you have an amazing day, everyone. You take care. And remember, I have spoken.